Nobody fears us. Former Democrat strategist bemoans lack of strong leader like Donald Trump in his party. And that's true. They do not have a clear, defined leader in the Democrat Party. The base of the party has taken over. The loonies of the party have taken over the party, and the Democrats don't know what to do about it. It's pretty funny to watch. It's very, very funny to watch. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to play this clip. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon, and that's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from the Liberty Daily, and they, by way of the Daily Caller News Foundation, and they report that former Democratic strategist Dan Turrentine on Tuesday bemoaned that his party does not have a commanding figurehead such as President Donald Trump who can dominate its base. Democratic New York Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez received the most support from Democratic-aligned adults when asked in a March 16th CNN SSRS poll which leader best reflects the core values of the Democratic Party, but she only garnered 10% support overall. Turrentine on the morning meeting said Democratic presidential nominees have struggled to unite their voters under a single leader since former President Barack Obama, a stark contrast from the power Trump wields. So let's get right to the clip here. Here we go.
The people that I talk to who run campaigns see it as a problem in that you need your base energized, right? Like, it's very hard to win an election with a demoralized and fractured base. So they don't want to discourage the building energy that we have.
And that's the point there. That's the point there. They need the loonies on the far left. They need their energy. They need that base to move them forward. That's why they are not attacking the crazy leftist loonies. That's why when you ask them questions pertaining to these crazy leftist ideologies, they don't have an answer. Like when you ask them simply, what is a woman? They can't answer that because they're afraid of upsetting that base. A simple question is, what is a woman? I mean, but they hopped into bed with these people. They hopped into bed with these loonies, and now they have to live with them. It's sad.
What they lament is they don't want to be captured and driven by that crowd. They want it to be part of a bigger kind of tent, again, that offers, proactive solutions and can channel it.
That's it right there. They want to channel that energy. They don't want, they want to use them. Basically is what he's saying. We want to use them because there's a strong base. They're energized. We want to use them, but we don't really want to stick to their crazy policies. We really don't believe in their policies. We're going to pretend like we do. We're not going to answer. We're going to be very vague when people ask us about it because we need this base. We need their energy. We're going to use them just like we used Bernie Sanders. We tried to use Bernie Sanders when Hillary ran, just like we used the base. We try to use the base when Harris ran. But the thing is, you have to come out and be some type of centrist. You can't just run on these crazy leftist ideals because you're turning off the majority of the country, which Harris found out which Harris found out when she ran the hard way. She found out the hard way.
Not just against them. The frustrating thing is they're not sure how to do it. Kamala Harris couldn't do it. Joe Biden could never do it. The last person who kind of had some control over the base was Barack Obama. Hillary Clinton couldn't. It was part of her problem. Bernie Sanders. But
I will say, let me rewind this some. I don't think Barack Obama could do it today. I don't think he could. You saw how he got chastised when he came out and spoke for Kamala Harris, and he came out and said, "Black men, y'all need to go out." He chastised the black men. It didn't end well for him. I mean, people blasted him on the internet for it. So I don't think even Barack Obama could deal with the crazy leftists of today. I really don't.
Handle it, not just against them. The frustrating thing is they're not sure how to do it. Kamala Harris couldn't do it. Joe Biden could never do it. You know, the last person who kind of had some control over the base was Barack Obama. Hillary Clinton couldn't. It was part of her problem. Bernie Sanders just nicked at her ankles that whole campaign, and she'd tell you it's the main reason she lost. It's the main reason Biden said to Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, "I'll give you personnel in the White House if you just support me 100% in 2020. So it's a problem that we have. We don't have a strong leader like Donald Trump. I say this with respect. He is strong. He controls his party. They fear him. Nobody fears us.
Nobody fears us. He's right. He's right. Sanders launched his Fighting Oligarchy tour in February, often featuring Ocasio-Cortez, where the two left-wing politicians have spoken to large crowds about how to combat the so-called oligarchs and corporate interests who have so much power, what they say, right? In April, ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll found Trump holds an 83% approval rating with Republicans during his second term. Moreover, 51% of Republicans strongly approve of the president. Trump has also been his party's nominee for 3 consecutive election cycles since 2016. His endorsements are extremely important in Republican primaries, Politico reported in 2024. News Nation political contributor Chris Cillizza said on May 6 that he thinks Ocasio-Cortez is seriously considering a 2028 presidential bid after she told reporters that she would not pursue the leading Democratic role on the House Oversight Committee. Ooh, I hope she runs. It'll be a disaster for Democrats. They have no idea. Moreover, March polling by NBC News and CNN SSR showed Democrats held all-time low popularity ratings, 27% and 29% respectively. And I've reported on those polls. The Democrat Party is the least popular they have ever been in history right now. That's how bad they are. And the thing is, they're not changing. They're not changing their tactics. They're not changing their values. They're continuing to double down on this stuff. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.